Welcome, my friends. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3, just like the hat says. 3 at 3 every business day. We bring you unusual option activity that we have found via our Heat Seeker, which is an algorithm that looks for unusual buying patterns in stock options or futures, as well as some of our sentiment scans, which will be discussed during today's program. So without further ado, this is the June 14th edition of 3 at 3. The disclaimer says that you need to understand investments before you make them, not after, and that this is presented for educational and informational purposes only. We do have intellectual property that includes, but is not limited to, registered marks, trademarks, patents, and copyrights. So please ask us before you reproduce this if you'd like to use it in a commercial venue. If you just want to share it with friends, by all means, forward away. Send them links to the YouTube video or anything else. No problem. And we appreciate all of you for all of the help that you give us getting the word out. All right, let's see. This was today on the Halftime Report. Scott Wapner, Tiffany McGee, Josh Brown, Joe Terranova, and me. And Paul Tudor Jones was the quote on the screen there that I was addressing. And he said, I want 5% in Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier. Now, the legendary investor was talking about having 5% allocation in commodities, in gold, in cash, and in Bitcoin. That's the heaviest we've seen of any of the major investors be in Bitcoin. One of the reasons he believes that that makes sense is because of the printing of money and what he anticipates as rampant inflation, which will drive up assets. I don't know how long that pump will last as far as inflation, because I think it will turn back around. But Mr. Tudor Jones, who's certainly got the chops, thinks that it will be around for a while. And if it is, and the Fed delays doing what he thinks they need to do, he thinks then inflationary plays are going to be all the rage. This was when we were in Miami. This was Orlando. Been going to Florida a lot lately, folks. This was Orlando with Tom Lee in the middle there. Mark Lopresti and I presented our views on cryptos as well. It was well attended, and we certainly share Mr. Tudor Jones's affinity for cryptocurrencies, in particular Bitcoin, as the asset derives its value by its scarcity. And we had quite the time down there in Orlando, and it was always good to catch up with Tom Lee of Fundstrat. I shared this on the halftime report because I think this is one of the things Paul Tudor Jones is looking at, quite frankly, folks. I'll have to call you back in a minute. So what he was looking at is lumber prices. Yes, they are down. And in fact, lumber was down limit today, which is good if you're building something or if you'd like to. But look at all of these assets: lumber, soybean oil, lean hogs, ethanol, corn, heating oil, canola, RBOB, which is gasoline, soybeans, crude oil, WTI, West Texas Intermediate, all of these different assets. I didn't just ask for a list of commodities, but as you'll note, until you get all the way down to the NASDAQ 100, the 1 year relative performance is all commodities. So I think Mr. Tudor Jones is correct about the inflation that has reared its ugly head in all of these things, from coffee and silver and cotton and palladium down to the NASDAQ 100. And the Dow Jones, S&P, and so forth are at the bottom of that list. So that should give you some idea that, yes, there is inflation, and that if you've had any of this stuff in your portfolio, you're probably pretty happy that you do. Daily Crypto Bite every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We do a broadcast talking about crypto. And crypto, believe it or not, even with all the bloodletting, is still one of the top performing assets. Our Daily Crypto Bite, we break down best opportunities in crypto, and that includes altcoins. We are not maximalists. A maximalist is somebody, in the case of a Bitcoin maximalist, who really just believes in Bitcoin because of the limited quantity, as well as other aspects of the DeFi cryptocurrency. We talk about all cryptocurrencies. Yes, we don't cover 6,000 of them every show, but we talk about them. And you can also join by hitting marketrebellion.com/try crypto to exactly see what you should be or could be doing as far as crypto. It costs you $1 for the first month, just $1 for the first month. And if you like it, it's $29 a month after that. But we don't pre-charge you. You only have to pay $1. If you want to continue, we would welcome you. Thank you. Apple was my first of our unusual activities today, AAPL. We talked about this one because there were 24,000 of the next week expiration. That's the 25 June. That means June 25th expiration. The 25 June 130 calls. Stock was 129.33. They were buying these calls. The stock is now almost $1 higher than that. They were buying 24,000, which is 2.4 million share equivalent in Apple. I bought these. In fact, what I did was I bought back some of my shorts and rolled up because I own a significant stake in Apple, and I covered write it, meaning I sell calls against the stock that I own on a weekly basis. So I had to buy back some of these calls. Love it when I have to do that. That means the stock's going up. This was unusual activity, we thought, today. Here is me on the show talking about that. Apple June 130s that expire next week, the 25th of June. So I'll hold those approximately a week, not probably a full 2 weeks, but look at that surge. And by the way, that surge is even a lot bigger right now. Let me see exactly how big that is right now. I'm just going to hit it, AAPL. I know just a little bit ago that those June, regular June, this week expiration, they are now topping 202,000 of those calls. Next week, June 130s are now over 58,000. Gives you an idea that there's a lot of interest in this one. as it pushes higher here. Bang. That'll work, won't it? All right. Now there is the chart as Apple comes off from mid-May lows around 122 to now pushing back to that 130-ish level that you heard just a little bit ago. There you see, as of that graph, it trading at the highs of the day. Volume 52 million shares so far. By the way, if you'd like to learn more about how we do what we do at Market Rebellion, check out marketrebellion.com/UOA. That's marketrebellion.com/UOA for unusual option activity. We have up to 25, 30 trades a day on there. If that's too many, we have one service that's just one trade a day, and we have another service that's one trade a week. We pride ourselves on being the founders of unusual option activity, as well as the best in the market. In all humility, the best, because of our team, because of the algorithm, and because we're constantly refining it with that sentiment that I talked about earlier. Corsair, talking about sentiment, wow, this one had it in spades. Corsair was 38.60, as you see here, up $6.24. We saw it early on. It suddenly became a rebel stock. Some of you call them meme stocks. I call them rebel stocks. And they came for this in a big way, my friends, buying and buying and buying, and talking about it on Reddit. So we were in here early and bought a lot of calls. There is CRSR, which is Corsair. Many of you might say, what is Corsair? It's a video game peripherals. So if you're a gamer on Xbox or Sony's PlayStation, you may be using some of what they make. Now, not the chips, that would be NVIDIA, one of the best chips for that. But if you are somebody who is gaming, you might have a headset. Chances are Corsair might have made that headset, as well as other things for streaming games over the internet. Normal activity was 8,000 calls a day total. Last week, that jumped to 16,000, and we saw it. And we saw the activity hitting on Reddit. Then today, I'll tell you that so far today, it's traded 210,000 calls so far today. And yes, I talked about it on TV, but that was not the reason. That might be why it popped even more. But this was activity that was basically organic from all those Reddit Wall Street Bets players. And there is Corsair trading up to and through $42 a share. Bang. So if you were in at 38.60 with us earlier in the day, you may have already taken profits. Like me, I've already taken profits and rolled up. So I'm just letting you guys know that you got to be focused. And if you want to get it first, got to be a subscriber. But you didn't do too bad either if you were watching it on CNBC, did you? It was up $6 at that time. And as you see here, up $8.43 after we spoke about it and after the rest of the world jumped on the bandwagon. If you'd like to learn more about options, I would encourage you to go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That's marketrebellion.com. And then you put the / and then get started. There you can see that we've got educational distance learning for stock, options, futures, and cryptocurrencies. You would also see that we've got coaches and mentors. You decide how deep you want to get into it and what's appropriate for you. You can do this all remote learning on the programs that allow you to go on whenever you want. That's how we built Market Rebellion. So if you're somebody who works a swing shift and it's more convenient for you to learn at night, fine. If you somebody who it's more convenient to learn during the day, you can log on any time of the day or night. Your password gets you in there and lets you start learning and getting to be a rebel like us. By the way, I'm going to be talking about rebel stocks on Wednesday with Ryan Mastro. Ryan is our chief market strategist. Chief Option Strategist over at Market Rebellion. He and I are going to break down what some of you call meme stocks. Again, I call them rebel stocks. We're going to talk about how we've traded them, what we've seen, and what we are seeing. It's a free webinar, and it is Wednesday. You got to sign up to join us. It's going to be Wednesday at the market close, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, right at the market close. And we're going to be taking your questions as well. You'll see all about it at marketrebellion.com. All right, final one, Unity Software, symbol U. This was my final trade, bought it during the show. Stock was 101. They bought 4,200 July 115 calls. Calls out there a month into the future. All right, so did I buy those? If you're a regular viewer, you know the answer to that is no, I did not. I don't buy something that's 115 when the stock's 101. I buy something close to where that stock is and sell a higher strike against it 1-to-1. As long as you do it 1-to-1, you have incurred no additional upside risk. Now, in fact, you've mitigated some of the time decay and volatility decay that is one of the things that could hurt you. Those are two of the things that could hurt you if you just buy a call. But if you buy a call and sell a call against it, you're mitigating that. Unity Software, there it is, bang, to 103. Where was it when we saw it? 101. Would you rather be in at 101 or 103? So it's another example of why you need to pay attention to unusual option activity and be a subscriber. Because if you are, you get the benefit of being in when we see it, not when we talk about it on TV. But we're happy to share that with you on television as well. And as you saw, you could have made some money on your final trade with this one because stock was 101 and change. This is our YouTube channel. You get all of our videos for free here after we've done them. So the Daily Crypto Bite, my 60-second workout video in the mornings, 3 at 3 with me, Pete's The Take, Daily Crypto Bite, all of it on our YouTube channel. How do you subscribe and how much is it? It's free. How do you subscribe? Go to YouTube. On YouTube, type in marketrebellion.com. Actually, you can just type Market Rebellion. You don't need to say .com. But if you type Market Rebellion, you can be in for all of our videos. We've got hundreds, I believe now thousands of those videos, because as you can see, we do at least 5 a day. So you get the idea. You could put them up and watch them at your leisure. That's YouTube, and you type Market Rebellion into YouTube, click subscribe. Bang. Questions? Well, do we have any questions today? At Jon Najarian is how you send them to me on Twitter. And here we had somebody that says, why does Scott call you Doc? And I think it's obvious because I've said it for years. My dad was a doctor, transplant surgeon, brilliant guy, covers of magazines and so forth, fabulous surgeon, wonderful father. And that's why he calls me Doc, because I took that as his, to honor him, Dr. J. But since this person didn't know that, I figured I'd tweak him a little bit and say, well, it goes back to when we shot our first movie together, Doc Savage, The Man of Bronze, which was a real movie, by the way. And we had quite a run, but now The Rock has optioned Doc Savage with Shane Black directing. That is true. I don't know if it'll ever get made, but The Rock did option that. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson will be playing the role previously played by me in Doc Savage. So yes, I'm taking that moniker Doc because of my dad, though, not because of Doc Savage. Hey, folks, I hope you have a great day. This has been fun. Please tell a friend about it. Join us tomorrow on the Daily Crypto Bite, 10 a.m. Eastern. Pete follows it up with The Take at 10:30 a.m. He might be on the halftime report tomorrow. I am not. And then I will tell you more about what's coming up Wednesday when we have that Ryan Mastro and I at 4 p.m. Eastern, right at the market close, talking about the former meme stocks now known as rebel stocks. See you then, folks. Bang.